Welcome to 1EdTech's Technical Advisory Board 5-minute video. At 1EdTech, we value our member experts. A technical advisory board position is an honor and a responsibility. The Technical Advisory Board is a standing committee of the board in which representatives of all contributing members may participate. Each contributing member organization exercises one vote in all formal decisions by the TAB. The Technical Advisory Board oversees specification development and related technical activities. The responsibilities fall into 3 high-level categories: chartering, development, and maintenance. Chartering is the identifying and prioritizing of requirements for a proposal of technical work. Development is the creating and revising of specifications, including technical review and approval for public release of a specification document or related materials. Maintenance is the tracking of problems and reports and suggestions for revision that are reported to 1EdTech by adopters and users of specifications. 1EdTech contributing member organizations select one member of their organization to be their TAB representative. TAB members represent their organization and can consult with the organization for advice, but the official TAB member has to cast the vote. Some organizations choose to have 2 TAB members, so they will have a backup, but only one TAB member can vote. The Technical Advisory Board Policies and Procedures document is intended to orient the members to the general organization of the TAB and to the work processes of the various committees. All 1EdTech contributing members and any other parties participating in any technical meeting are subject to the policies and procedures in the 1EdTech Technical Advisory Board Policies and Procedures. Specification and publishing processes include a TAB vote and an intellectual property release. Project group and task force members should communicate and collaborate with their TAB members. Here is the voting process and timeline. Once a specification is finalized by a task force or project work group, we will create a candidate final document. Once we have the required amounts of champion implementers, early adopters to certify the new standard, we will move forward with a vote. This process will take a minimum of 8 weeks. The first step of the process is the intellectual property release. That is a 2-week process where there is an email sent out to the project work group or the task force members to make sure their organizations are aware of the specification publication and the need for intellectual property release information. The IPR responses are collected and added to the documents, and then we are ready to move into the next part of the process. Technical documents typically consist of material created collaboratively. They may include material contributed to 1EdTech either by contributing members or by third parties. The copyright for all documents produced by working groups and a task force belong to 1EdTech. So the specifications and related documents can be openly accessible and available to the public without restrictions that would inhibit their adoption and use. 1EdTech has a conformance certification process, trademark usage, and communications policy that is available on the 1EdTech website. It explains the 1EdTech certification process and branding guidelines for use of the conformance certification logo and trademark. 1EdTech employs an intellectual property rights policy to ensure that its products remain open and to minimize the possibility that using a 1EdTech document or implementing a 1EdTech specification will result in an inadvertent infringement of intellectual property of members of 1EdTech or third parties. The 1EdTech property contained in a specification typically is created by the collaborative group of individuals in the project group. So all ownership rights to the intellectual property that is collaboratively created belong to the consortium. However, it is possible that intellectual property may be submitted as a contribution to a document by a member or third party. In such cases, the submitter may either assign the rights to that property to 1EdTech or grant 1EdTech a right to use the intellectual property. Procedures and forms contained in the IPR policy document specify the information which must be provided. Procedures requiring members to disclose possible infringement of their intellectual property policy also serve to reduce the possibility that implementations of a specification inadvertently infringe the intellectual property rights of a member. Similar requests are made of third parties during the development of a specification. The consortium requires that all contributing members, participants, and submitters of contributions conform to the IPR policy and observe the rules. The second part of the process is the call to vote. The call to participate in the vote starts off with an email. The call to participate email will be sent to the entire technical advisory board to alert the tab that there is going to be a vote and ask if their organization would like to vote. The tab is given 2 weeks to respond to this call for a vote. If an organization responds that they will vote for a new specification to move to final release, the organization must vote. The third step of the process is the actual vote. Once the call to vote responses are collected and the 2-week window is closed, the voting poll will be sent out via an email to those organization tab representatives that responded that they would like to vote. When that voting email is sent out with the poll, it is open for 2 weeks. The tab members that responded that they would like to vote will have 2 weeks to vote in the voting poll. Once the voting poll closes, the votes will be counted. To move forward to final release, a specification must have 10 votes yes. If a member organization votes no, that member organization must explain why they voted no, and it will be addressed with the work group. The next part of the process is the announcement, and the documents go live on the website. Communicate with 1EdTech and let us know if someone has left your organization that was the tab member, and we will help you designate another tab member. Contact support at 1edtech.org to notify 1EdTech of any changes to your designated tab member. We value each organization and their members' expertise, contributions, and voice in the development of new technologies and solutions to help teaching and learning. To learn more, visit 1edtech.org. This is Susan Hott, Technical Program Manager of Digital Curriculum and Assessment here at 1EdTech. Keep on innovating and please join the conversation.